Sit. Good. We're going to put her into her crate. I always have her sit, just like I would send her to the mat. I have her sit. Make sure you're not restraining her. She has to really wait. Then with my right hand, I pat her chest. Go. She goes in the crate. She loves to go in her crate because she goes in there, she turns around, she gets a little reward. I'm going to go in there and take off her collar. Both collars. And I always hang up this little training collar, the prong collar, right here on the door. That way it doesn't get all tangled up. And then you can put the choke chain and the leash wherever you want, maybe on top of the crate. The choke chain is only for safety. It's not for training. It would be damaging to her throat to use this for training, but you double up with the leash. You attach it to the choke chain as well as the prong collar on the clip of the leash, so that if the prong collar ever comes off on the street out in public, then the choke chain comes into play and you don't lose her, which might just happen twice a year or something like that. Hopefully it never happens, but if it ever does, which it usually will sooner or later, you don't lose her and you're safe. So that's what the choke chain's for. It's hanging loose all the time. The pressure of the leash is taken by the training collar. And you see throughout the videos how we're using the training collar. The prong collar, we're not using it to correct. We're just using it as more like a way to give her prompts and an easy way for us to give her little signals so that you don't have to be real strenuous. Makes it easier for you. And you know, it's really beneficial. This is a very good quality prong collar. These are very blunt here, so they're not sharp. And it closes all the way around with the same pressure on the back of the neck as well as the front. So it's not like a regular collar that's right there. It's just all the way around. And of course, you see throughout the videos how I'm using it, just little signals. It's never continuously tight. So obviously it's not harmful to her if you use it correctly. So that's what we're using. And this is the very smallest size that they have, that they make. So when I'm going to take her out of the crate, let's say she's been in there for an hour or so, I always put on, let's say I'm going to take her out on the street, I always put on the choke chain first, and I just stick my hand through there and I put a treat in my hand. She's eating a treat and I just draw it over her head like that. And then if she tries to come out of here before you release her, just say no. Give it a little, what I call a little token slam. No. She needs to really wait. You own this boundary. You control this boundary. No. So the second thing I do is just attach the leash to this prong collar. No. And I think I said in the last clip that she's never been in this office before, so she's kind of excited. This is a new place for her. So she's a little bit less calm than she would be in the regular house that she was in, but she's still doing pretty well. So the leash is attached to the funny shaped buckle. The round one is just a spacer, so don't touch that. And make sure that the chain isn't twisted, so you can just let it hang like that. And then the leash is already attached. You just reach in like this. It connects, it's the highest collar up. It's right below her ears. The other collars are below the training collar, the prong collar. And then I just hooked it to the choke chain as well. So now she's all hooked up. Simple as that. And she should wait for all of that. And like I said, if she tries to come out, no. If she waits though, like she's waiting, good. She gets a reward. And that's a little exercise that I did for a while, was just good. Stand here. She waited. If I step back and she waited, no. See that? Is she trying to come out? No. Try it again. And then I stand back again. She waits. Good. Stand a little bit farther back. Good. Stand all the way back, which is like 8 feet away almost. No. So you can just use your body and she'll go back in like that. Do a little token slam like that. Try it again. Good. So she knows how to do this. It's just in a new environment. You might have to she might make a couple mistakes, and then you can't move on until she has a success. You never want to end on a mistake. You always have to make sure she does it the right way. She gets a reward, then you move on to something else. So now we're about to come out of the crate. She's waiting with the door open. I pat my leg and say, okay. She comes out. I'm gonna do another little left turn. As always turning left into her. Never pulling her right and going like this, but always turning left. If I have to go that way, well, it's just my opportunity to go left and go that way. That way you never have a tight leash. And it also is a very dominant move. Makes the dog feel safe if you're always going left, because then she feels like somebody's in charge. And if you're always turning left, there'll rarely be a time when you have a tight leash. And a tight leash, of course, is your enemy, because tension on the leash creates stress in the dog. So it's a really good thing to do whenever you can turn into her. You should always do that. Sit. Now we're going to go out the door the usual way. Open the door, step out first. She waits. Come back to her. Okay. And we're going to go for a walk outside.